Finally, episode 5 is here and ready. And today we're going to talk about a technique that I underestimated for 2 years. I didn't think about it, I didn't train it, I didn't do anything to achieve it. And once you learn this one, like big moves, body strength, contact strength, flowing climbing, and just kind of enjoying climbing on a whole new level. Once you like obtain this one, and you're going to be surprised. But we're talking about hip movements. See the flow? That's how we get the flow. I want the flow too. I'm closing in though, but Nick's flow in his hips, legendary. Legendary flow.
Because I listened to a Shakira, and you know what? Hips don't lie.
Jesus Christ. The cheesy masters returned. So when you start climbing, it's the same thing as with our feet. Like we don't really know how to place them. And the same thing goes with the hips. We don't really know how we're going to place them. So instead of like going to a hole this far away and kind of using the hips to get there, we can just start pulling with our arms and locking our bum kind of away from the position. So when we get the hold, we kind of like hang down here rather than hanging over here, getting our center of gravity really good. So I'm just going to show you how that looks. And you're probably going to recognize yourself. I did that to myself as well. It's a bit of a classic move for sure. As you can see here, when Nick does the move, he doesn't use his hips at all. He can stay in the same position and he just pulls with the arms. And once he reaches the hold, his center of gravity is completely off. He's not underneath the hold. So his body starts rotating out and he's losing control of his body. And this is a classic thing to do. And it will make climbing a lot harder and you won't really get any flow in your climbing. And as you saw there, Nick did it. He kind of just pulled with his arm, locking it over here. His bum was just hanging over here. So his center of gravity was completely off. So when he reached this hole, like he's just had to like lock his entire body, tense everything, and kind of pray that he won't just rotate and fall out. So it's a lot strenuous move. You test every single muscle. Like it's so inefficient to do it that way, rather than just flowing on your hips and like landing under the hold. But I'm going to show you how that looks when he does it correctly, and you can understand a bit more. And this time you can see that Nick creates the momentum from his hips. He starts down near like a squat, putting all his weight on his feet, and then explodes with the hip up to the hold. And his arms is just there to readjust the force. And when he lands in the hold, he's already in a perfect position to move on to the next hold. So this creates the flow, as you can see, climbers have. So that for me was like a classic move. So that's find a problem that is that big, something that is a big move. But if it's done correctly, you land in it with a slightly bent arm, so you don't land completely straight out. Because like once you do this all the time, either the shoulders or the elbows is going to hurt. So it's not only like a technical thing, but it's also a thing to like prevent injuries. And do that both left side to right side. Do it as many times as you feel you can do it like good, with good form. And do it static if you can lock it off and move. And dynamics, you know how to pull fast and hard. And once you could like master those two things, you can start like then the drop knees will come, the heel hooks, the toe hooks, like everything will kind of fall into place, and you'll excel in climbing. You'll get the flow. You have less injuries in your elbows, and it's just going to be like a very good atmosphere to be in climbing. It's very rewarding getting the hips. I mean, I remember when I started getting the hips, man. It's like first time I had like flow in climbing, and I just enjoyed climbing. It didn't matter what grade I climbed on, like because I had the flow. I like moved up on the wall. I was satisfied. Every move became very efficient, and like it's a really nice feeling. It's worth trying on. So yeah, that is episode 5, hips, the secret technique in climbing that like a lot of people overlook, but I would say it's the most important one and the one that made my climbing the most enjoyable. So just probably subscribe. More is coming, so don't miss anything. I really want you to excel in climbing and don't get injuries I've had. Oh yeah, and also don't forget to follow me on Snapchat. I see that's like the more I get, like I want to get better at telling a story, and I think Snapchat is a really good way to do it. It kind of helps me like creating nice stories throughout the day in like a very easy format. So it would be really nice if you could kind of join me and give good feedback, but also like so I could see the faces of the people I'm talking to. Anyway, have a good day.